Should we take questions from the audience?
Any questions in the audience? Nope.
The chair too comfortable?
That chair? Do you need like a pillow or anything?
No, I'm
like,
good.
Recording right now?
I'm recording audio, yeah.
I'm good. Is my mic looking good on my face? Relative?
Yeah, it looks, yeah.
It's not like too far to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like being a big shot celebrity now, Greg?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, all the perks of it are great. Parking is easy. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Even like the anti-Greg posts, how you dealing with that?
You have to, it takes a while, and you have to figure out how to just ignore it all, because at the end of the day, all you are is who you are, and they're not you.
Do you read the comments?
Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're not funny.
And what do you have to say to those people who where it's not funny,
At this point, it would be great to have like a camera A and a camera B, so I can just like look at the camera. Should we set up a camera B?
Yeah, we could do that. Fluoride toothpaste or no fluoride toothpaste? Everybody's been asking me this, by the way. Does Greg use fluoride in his toothpaste?
It's interesting.
Does he not?
Currently, I'm a fluoride user. I've used and I've not used. I have great dental genetics. I was actually told that recently.
How many cavities around?
None, son.
Holy shit.
I actually went to the dentist for the first time in a while. Not like a crazy while, but like maybe over a year, like slightly over a year. Went to a new dentist, and she told me I had great teeth genetics, which was one of the best compliments I've ever received. And you know that I get a lot of compliments, so that was a good one.
That's a little bit of like, a little bit too long of a story. But, I'm trying to get comfortable talking because it's different when you're, when the lights are on and his sunglasses are on and,
The hats are on.
the
Hats and
are on.
sunglasses. I could go hood up too, but it might get hot.
And I'm reading this paper, but it's not computing,
Oh, the camera's always rolling.
Favorite type of cheese?
Another good question. Currently, I've been really into aged cheeses. Romano cheese. It's really good. I mean, it's like you can go so many different directions with it. I mean, it's not like any cheese that you'd be like melting into anything, but it's nice to sprinkle on things. It just adds like an aged funk, a good aged funk to any eggs.
Funk, though? I mean,
Funk.
as president of the world, what would you do? First move.
It would probably be something ocean related.
Okay.
I don't know. They're important. I don't know. International whaling bans.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What
It
do you
seems like not that hard to get done, Of all the things that there's a lot of things to try, and it seems like a good first step. You gotta get the momentum going.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be too drastic of a change because then people are like, what's this motherfucker doing?
Yeah, exactly. They get skeptical.
Gotta take it one step at a time.
One step. First step, no more whaling.
Oh, there was something I was going to ask you as soon as you sat down that where the fuck is it? Sorry, it's not flowing like a podcast, but it'll be chopped up. So,
It's not flowing like a podcast,
we'll keep it all
but
in.
it'll
Fuck
get
it.
chopped up.
We'll have the unedited version. Do you think our brains will eventually be uploaded to a cloud, and then we'll be able to like die, and our brain will still be there?
Yes.
How close are we to that?
Not that far. It's like people's Facebooks still exist when they're, and it's not like your Facebook is a reflection of your brain.
Yeah.
But in time.
So how are they going to do that? Do you think like consciousness is programmable? Is it something that can...
I think it's going to be something related to like the amount, it's just like the fact that like all these algorithms, all these websites just know so much about you because people spend so much time on them. So they're just going to like, in like 40 years, once Facebook's been around for like mad long, they're just going to have enough data to be able to like make a mock you.
Mm-hmm. But it's not really going to be you.
Yeah. It's going to be like that Black Mirror episode, Is that where you got that question?
No. What are you talking about?
The one where like...
I've never heard of Black Mirror. Stevie Wonder or Marvin Gaye?
Stevie Wonder.
Okay. Purdy or Yusuf Days?
I mean, I'm really into Yusuf Days these days. I'd have to say him. For right now, it's not like this is like... Am I forming a platform right now? Are all these final answers?
Do you keep your laptop backed up? Is that something that you value?
Yeah, regularly. At least once a month. Regularly.
Should do it more than that.
Okay. I mean, that's like the whole thing. I back certain things up,
Yeah.
But like, there's backups of backups.
That's good.
You gotta back up.
Yeah, you gotta back up, and you have to have a backup of your backup, because then it's not really backed up.
Yeah, it's like only one back. You need two backs. So you can watch both of them. Your front and your back.
Exactly. What makes a good drummer?
Taste. It's like sometimes you're supporting, you're just keeping time because it's like some shit where you're not the thing, you're not the main reason we are all gathered here today. But then there are other times where it is that you are the reason people are gathered here today.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, it's like knowing when to go between those two things. Like people commit to one or the other. You gotta know when to step up and know when to sit down. I think that's important, because like, what's the point of knowing how to do all this crazy stuff if you can't apply it in the right context?
So you're saying, so the role of the drummer
context
is to read the situation and know if they're supposed to be a supporting part of the song or if they're supposed to drive it. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. And what about tempo? Like, isn't it their job to keep the tempo too?
Yeah, but I think that's all kind of like a relative thing. Like sometimes when you're doing that more laid back, sitting down, then your job is just to keep the tempo. But when you're stepping forward, you're kind of driving the bus where it's not necessarily about keeping the exact tempo. It's kind of more about keeping the thing alive, It could speed up, it could slow down, but it's like you're controlling it,
A lot of people would disagree with that. They would say, gotta stay on the grid, you gotta stay on the tempo. And you know what I say to those people? Fuck you. Is it too late for the world?
Nah.
Or do we have more time to figure this shit out?
Well, it depends what kind of shit you're trying to figure out. If you're trying to figure out this wailing, we got time. If you're trying to figure out, it depends what I don't know.
What happens after we die?
Start over.
Okay, I like that. Thanks, Greg.
It's like I feel like I've been too not serious, but I don't know.
But it's also, you got to get the jitters out. You got to get the nerves out so that you're just
talking into a microphone.
Just talking. And so I feel like it takes some time to get that groove, kind of.
I should probably look at the camera more often. I feel like I've been not.
Oh, maybe. But it's also just a conversation, Yeah. Forget about the lights. Forget that there's,
Forget that there's a microphone in front of you with lights on the side.
Forget that we've got a whole production crew back here and a dog that's whining in the corner.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation between two people, in 2020. And people from the future are going to look back and find everything from this year, and they're going to be like, oh my God, this came out in 2020.
Like, look at the way things were back then. Look at the way things were.
Look, they had money for lights.
Yeah, wow. Is that they had money for lights before the grid fell down.
So what seems to be the problem today?
Today, I don't know, man. I think it's probably not drinking enough water. It seems to be like most of the problem. Anytime where I'm feeling off, that's generally the root of the problem.
Hydration, right?
And it's like, that's something I remind myself all the time, but I always forget. It's like, why is it hard to drink water? It's natural. It's part of life.
So are you like, are you into the Fuji stuff, or is it more like?
No, it's any water. Any water.
Okay, so you're not like a elitist
hard,
water.
soft.
So not box water. You don't really care.
Box water, nah.
So you don't care how much BPA and fluoride is in it.
Any kind of water.
Okay.
As long as you're drinking 64 ounces of it a day. 64, 32. No, 64 is 64.
Respect.
Stay hydrated.
What makes a good podcast question? What makes a good interview question?
That's true. That's actually a good thing to talk about. That's perfect context to be talking about that. I think it has to be something that's relatable to the audience, you know, like.
Oh, so it's all about the audience?
I mean, it's actually about me. You're talking to me.
Yeah.
As me being the audience, it's got to be good, but it's also got to be good to this theoretical, hypothetical audience that may or may not be watching just our conversation, you know?
Right.
So it's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, so it can't be selfish. It has to be.
You know, it's like nobody wants to hear some shit if it's. Actually, people do sometimes like very specific questions for very specific people. But sometimes I'm more interested in things that, like, you know, I may be experiencing as well, you know, and hearing somebody else's take on said thing. It's got to be something that, you know, is an interesting enough question to then lead to a further conversation. Yes or no questions, not great for podcasts. Unless you do like a speed round thing on a podcast. That's a fun bit.
Okay. I'll try better, you know?
Yeah, I mean.
I'm trying, okay?
I like where you've been going with it. It's been an array of things. I've gotten to talk about a lot of different things.
And by the way, this is the second episode of this podcast. TV, internet, radio, video podcast.
Thank our subscribers.
Yeah, thank you to our subscribers, all 62 of them. We'll go and we'll name them later.
But list it at the end.
You know, we'll list the names. Thank you to Kevin Shanklin for filming, producing this podcast. Thank you to me for recording it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on too, because you know I've been waiting to get on the
Greg
show.
Wilson for being on it, and
been waiting.
You know, it's been a long time coming. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I said to myself, I want to have a podcast, even before I knew what podcasts were.
It's something you feel
it here. It didn't have that name associated with it,
but you knew.
But I knew.
You know, a lot has happened just in the span of this podcast, you know, not this specific podcast, but just.
We don't even know who won the presidency yet.
I mean, we're back in that time before they knew when the president got named. Cherish it. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, this moment, it's special. It's because we're in a transition where we don't know where we're going. We don't know.
State of flux.
What's happening.
You know.
But we're here and we're okay for now, I guess.
The first episode was great, and then a lot happened. We weren't able to get to the second episode, so it's great that we finally got to the second episode.
And I feel like this episode it kind of like got good, and then it, you know, kind of just went down,
and then
now we're just like spiraling like outward.
All right, do you have any more questions? Should we take questions from the audience?
Any questions in the audience? Nope. Might not be that good at podcasting yet, but
it's an art. It's a muscle. That's a cool hat, by the way. Just to compliment you on your hat.
Thank you. That's a cool hat too.
Thanks.
Let's see. How long have you been feeling like this?
I don't know, maybe 2 years, but I don't know. It comes and goes. If it's the right day, when the weather's nice, you don't feel like it.
And what is it? What is the feeling? Can you define it?
I mean, like I said, it's partially related to hydration, fitness, maybe diet, just general, how you feel.
Consumption.
What kind of books you're reading. I don't know.
Okay. You're gonna bring it there?
Yeah.
You're gonna shame me for not reading books?
They affect you, you know?
I mean, I'm not saying I don't read books, but it's hard sometimes when you just have like the infinite
world in your
world in your fingertips. Why won't play our fucking music? That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, it's because, do you really want me to give you an answer to the question?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's because they're about 25 years behind, maybe even longer.
That's what it is.
Yeah. They play, the only hip hop song they play on is Slick Rick's Children's Story, which
over and over again.
Over and over. I've at least heard it.
I don't even think they know any other.
I think I've heard it at least 5
We don't make
hip
hop though.
I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe it's hip hop. I don't know.
It's adjacent.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't even know why I cite that, but it's like there's a lot of good songs that not playing.
It's true.
And they're stuck. They need at least 30 years of validation before.
Okay, so I'm wrong for even thinking that that's some type of lane for.
They're not
exposure.
even the ones who are setting the pace. Okay,
gotcha.
They're fucking whack. WRTI though.
Dude, we should start beef with bro.
I mean, they got shooters. Be careful.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. We should probably not do that.
We should probably cut this shit out.
Yeah. Maybe good controversy is a good thing. I don't know.
It's all publicity. Maybe they'll post us shitting on them, and that'll be our first feature. And local band starts beef with their podcast.
I just don't get it because they play every other whack band from Philly. So what's another whack band like us, Anyway.
A whack band.
That was a little self-serving, that last part. But I think that this set is cool, and we're going to try to record more podcasts, ones where you're the host, ones where I'm the host, ones where maybe my dog is the host. We're going to maybe have a sports segment.
No rules.
Maybe we'll have a no segment. Maybe we'll have a segment where it's just silence the whole time. And you can meditate if you
use it as an opportunity.
And you can use it as a time to breathe and heal yourself.
That'd actually be pretty tight.
That's a revolutionary idea for a podcast,
I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
So there's all types of opportunities for us to expand and
grow,
move laterally and unlaterally.
Yeah.
And up and down, side to side, all the ways that we can move, diagonal.
All the ways that you can move.
And the knight on the chessboard.
Like the L.
We're moving L shape.
L's. We're moving diagonally.
You can go anywhere.
3 paces forward, only one to the right.
5 circles, 5 curls to the right. Anyway, so it's great to have you on.
I mean, I'm excited for the future.
That makes one of us, but I'm excited. I'm a little bit excited too.
All the movements. I'm sinking a little too low in my chair now.
Yeah. What do you think about the chair selection? Is this a good like, you get the?
I feel like I'm in the important chair,
because you are. You're the hot chair. I'm asking you the questions.
I will say, this is my first time in this kind of setting, with the arm. I feel like I'm strapped in. Mm-hmm. It's a limited window in which I can move my head.
That's true.
But It's not bad though, because it feels like it's all worth it.
And then we got the lights in the shot, so it's a little bit like breaking the fourth wall.
Break it. Break down.
Because that's how we do it here at the TV, internet, radio, video
podcast.
So we should have some way to end the podcast, like some type of
sign off. I mean, we could just be like a song that plays over us.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Signing off, folks. I don't know.
Yeah, let me think. Oh, or maybe like a question, like a question from the...
Like and subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments below.
Tell us what you think in the comments below. Leave an emoji and share it with your friends. See you next time.
Let's do that. Let's get some engagement. Let's engage.
Okay, I just did. That was it.
Yeah, engage.
All right. You can check Greg out at,
I don't know.
Your Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me at Instagram. Should I plug my
Yeah,
thing?
if you want.
It's Moments of Silence, all one word.
Moments of Silence.
There's a.
You probably have more followers than
the podcast. So
maybe
I'll get some clout for y'all.
Yeah.
Watch this.
So hopefully
fucking whack podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for being a bad friend.
Hey, and I should mention this, bro, because this is an important podcast because you've been my friend for so long. We've been through so much together.
I mean, I hope to be back on the show. If this is an important podcast,
this is the last time you'll probably be on. But we'll, once we wrap around the next 300 guests, we'll have you back
on next year.
And no,
when I'm in LA. When I'm in LA, I'll swing by.
No, you can come on every 5 episodes.
Okay.
Or more, or 3 or less. You're in the band, and this podcast is under the umbrella of Soul Dolphin, which is your band and my band, and
it's our band.
Other people's band too.
It's a bunch of people's bands.
And we're just trying to create content because that's what people like now. They like content.
They don't even want to hear our music. They want to hear our podcast.
Right. Exactly.
Whenever I go to a live show, I look at a band and I'm like, I would love to hear them podcast.
Exactly. There's nothing better than hearing your favorite band try to talk about interesting things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There you go. That'll be
all
the
right.
sign off.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like it definitely played well into like the dynamic.
Yeah, right. We should promo it as if it's like some serious conversation. We should promo it like it's a serious conversation. And tell all. Gregory Wilson tells it all.
Right.